Hello and welcome back to the IMNerd podcast. I'm your host, Big Ken Dog Money, here with a special guest, Sizzle Sack Phase, and a very special guest, but not just a special guest, a YCS winner, but not just a YCS winner, a two-time YCS winner, but not just a two-time YCS winner, also the co-host or host, however you want to say it, of the IMNerd podcast, Frazier Smith.
Can I say this? I didn't even know that you were there. I didn't see you ever before round one. It said Eric Shen across from my name, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't know that you were coming to Indianapolis. Like, there was no point where I thought you were coming to Indianapolis, so that threw me off. Were you always going?
Yeah. I live in Chicago, so it's a 3-hour drive. So it's definitely going.
That's crazy. I literally didn't know. I was in my head. I was like, oh, the competition might not be that much, because I was like, I know Marcus was going. So I was like, okay, there's going to be at least Marcus, and I said I know Oscar's going because he has to defend his turf because he won last year. And boy, did he really try to defend his turf.
Yeah.
He really went to the top of that mountain. I was like, I'm the only person that can stop this guy. But yeah, that tournament, Indianapolis was crazy. Round one, I play you. You were undefeated. So this is your 12th round of Yu-Gi-Oh! You're currently 11-0. And I win. And I was just like, okay, I don't want to beat this guy and literally just don't do anything with it. Because I always feel bad. Like, if you beat someone and you end up going like 1-2 after you beat them, or you just like that's just like the worst, right? Like, we've all like beaten somebody that's good, and then we scrub out like almost immediately after. It's just like, damn, that really looks bad. Like, I feel bad that I just like ended his tournament and then I just didn't do well. So I was like, all right, well, now that I beat Sizzle, who's the reigning champ, I literally have to do well. Like, I have to.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but every time I lose round one in a tournament, I kind of just go like, that's not my day, and just like kind of like not autopilot, but kind of just kind of autopilot. But when I lost to you, I was like, dude, I want Frazier to win. I'm gonna play. Like, I'm
you
gonna
looked
try to
weirdly
fucking
happy when I won. Like, it was.
Yeah, I was so happy even playing you, man. Like, I was like, I don't care what happens, man.
Yeah,
He
so
wins,
you
he's better win the whole thing.
Frazier beat you, and you go, I gotta make sure I'm a good tiebreaker for him. That's what you said.
He said that.
That's
I finished,
literally was like,
I finished 14th, so I hope. I mean, you didn't even need it. You finished so good, and it didn't matter. But yeah,
everything worked out. I honestly, the event was so perfect. I also think about alternate timelines all the time, because when I drew round 7, so there were 8 rounds of Swiss. And unfortunately, me and my Blackwing opponent, round 7, we drew. And both of us apparently could have won the game if we realized that it was going to be that close to time, because he had a play that's bad to do, but it would have been good just for time. And I had a play that's bad to do, but I had Econ and Malicious Edge in my hand. So I could have literally just been like, oh, put your board in defense mode, summon it, Malicious Edge, like econ it, attack over it, pierce you. I would never do that in a regular game that's like, we're going to play a long game. But in that particular case, if I just knew, like, just do this really quickly, like go to battle phase, like tribute from Malicious Edge, go to battle phase, activate econ, put it in defense mode attack, like I would just win the game. And I would have been X1. But here's the thing. After we drew, I was kind of sulking a little bit for like 3 minutes. And I thought about it. I was like, wait a second. That didn't matter, because I always had to win round 8. Because even if I was X1, so let's say I won round 7 and I was X1, so I'm 6-1. If you lose round 8, you're still not guaranteed to top at that point. Like, you still had to win round 8. So I actually thought about it. I was like, every X11 will make it, which means that round 7 just didn't happen. Like, my round 7, the draw against the Blackwing guy, I was like, it doesn't actually matter. It has no effect on my, like, me topping or not, because I always had to win the last round.
It's essentially
right. That's exactly what happened. It's just like it's like we skipped that round. So I was like, oh, I guess that's not too bad. The only benefit, I guess, is like if I would have won that round and I drew the last round, like if I ended up with an opponent who's also slow and then we ended up drawing in the last round, then it's like, okay, you're in top cut that way. But obviously I didn't want to do that, because I don't like drawing in general. I don't want to go into time, but some games just get obviously very grindy. So we had the draw, and both of us could have won. And it was just one, like, he could have, the play he could have, he was like, it's not a good play, but it was like brain control, dupe frog, and then like summon Bora, and like get a Kalu off a whirlwind and like attack over the other dupe frog, and just like just deal. Like, it was one of those like terrible, like you would never do that, but like, oh, if you see that there's like a minute on a clock, you're like, all right, well. So I'm glad that neither one of us, because I also feel like low-key it is kind of scummy when the games come down to that specific thing. Like, oh, it's a minute left, let me do this really terrible play, and then just like, win this game, So I'm glad that it ended up just being a draw, and we both got to go on to the next round and still have a chance to save our tournament. And fortunately, I did save my tournament. He did not. He was not in top 8, but top 8 was pretty decent. So the guy who got second at YCS Indianapolis last year
Rick.
Yes. So I don't know him, but do you know him?
He goes to my locals. We were talking like all week or 2 weeks, like 2 weeks leading up to the tournament. We were just talking about it. Yeah.
Oh wow. So okay, so you know him well. Yeah, I don't know him, but OG was messaging me. He was like, "Oh, the guy you play, like he has a deck profile and everything, like on YouTube of him getting second last year, and he's playing the same deck basically."
You played him round 2?
I played the guy who got second at YCS Indianapolis last year in top 8.
In top 8.
First round. Yeah, so in top 8
So okay, so first round of the tournament you play the winner from the last tournament.
Correct.
Then first round of top 8 you play second place of the this tournament from last year.
Yes. Now, if you want to add to it, in the finals, I played the winner of last year's YCS Indianapolis. The guy I played in the finals, this is so crazy. My bracket is so wild. The guy I played in the finals, Oscar Zelaya, shout out to him, Legacy Retro Formats on YouTube. So Oscar and me have a history anyway, because both of us are YCS champions, like main event YCS champions. So both of us are already YCS champions. He won in 2012 with Mermails. And apparently, like I asked myself, have we ever played before? When we got to the finals, we sat down and we were just talking because they were like, you can't start until we get all the setup, the recording and stuff. Apparently that feature match is eventually going to be on YouTube. I can't wait because like it was actually a really cool feature match. So I was like, have we ever played? And he was like, yeah, we played in top cut of YCS Dallas 2012. Where Nazar won and I was in top 8 and I was like, oh, that's actually just insane. Like who won? And it was like, oh yeah, like I won that match. So I completely forgot that we actually played each other in the past.
But
so
you won or he won?
I won. Like I won our match in Dallas in 2012.
Dino Rapid format, right?
Dino Rapid format. Me and Nazar basically were the only 2 people left in the tournament when we got the top 8. So when me and Nazar played in top 8, it was a feature match. Yeah. And I said to Nazar and he agreed. It was like whoever wins this match right here wins the event. And I low-key felt the same way about top 4 at Indianapolis yesterday because Oscar was playing Vayu and he would have been my 5th Vayu opponent that weekend. I play 5 Vayu decks, by the way. So I'll give my actual like matchup spread. So round 1 is Vayu against Eric Shen, aka Sizzle, who's here. I play you round 1. Round 2, Amaryllis. I beat him 2-1 and I deck him out game 3. He fills his field up with Dandy tokens and a Botanical Line and a Lone Fire Blossom and a Titanial. And then I just literally, I have a Duplock. I have a full Duplock and a Substitute in the field and a Treeborn in defense and a Unifrog, but he has a Swift Scarecrow, which is why I just stopped attacking because I was like, this is a waste of time. So I was like, we're at an impasse where nobody can do anything technically, but my deck was bigger than his, and I realized that he had no possible way to clear his field because he had 5 monsters. I was like, there's nothing you could do. So I started just drawing and discarding the card I drew immediately without even looking at it. I was just like, draw, go. And then eventually, without actually decking out, he gave me the handshake when he realized what was up. Like he realized, okay, this guy is like, he blatantly knows that I don't have an out. And I'm like, yeah, like you lose. And my life points were higher too. So if we went in time for some reason, like I also win that way. So it was like inevitable in 2 different ways. You're either going to deck out or I'm just going to win in time.
I was so happy when you told me that story because that's an old school Yu-Gi-Oh player skill. New players don't have that skill. I feel like
that's 100% right. Yeah, the fact that I looked at his graveyard, I saw Lightning Vortex, which I just topped. The last tournament I played, I topped with Amaryllis. So like I just played that deck, so I know it very well now because I remember it sides the 1 Lightning Vortex, and I said unless this guy changed it up when he milled that Lightning Vortex with Raiko, like in the first couple turns of the duel. Or like Lila, one of them milled it. But when he milled it, I was like, that's actually so key because I don't think he's going to have a second way to like deal with a Duplock and a Substitute. Like I was like, this is so much to deal with for any deck really, but like especially when you have 5 monsters on the field, there's no way you can get through it. Hey guys, if you like this clip, we have full video versions of our podcast episodes available on the IMNerd Patreon, as well as exclusive content.
If you'd like to listen to our full podcast episodes or find us on any other social media platforms, you can do so by clicking the link tree below.